Casey Energan. They were able to shake them down real good. Looks like the Hunt the Front Super Late Models will be up next for their hot lap session. I'll tell you, there's a lot of anticipation and a lot of things going through these drivers' mind, and it's a little tough right now if you're on this front straightaway, as you go down into turn number 1 and 2, Travis, that sun is just in that rough spot right now. A lot of the drivers having a tough time being able to see as they come up underneath the flag stand.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's going to have a little bit to do with some of the lap times that we see from some of these drivers, as definitely don't want to go off in there if you can't see and force it, for sure. All right, race fans, we are set and ready for Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series presented by Sweet Victory Apparel Company. It is the season finale, and tonight's Dirt Draft point standings coming into the season here are coming up there on your screen at huntthefront.tv. If you're a fantasy sports fan, I encourage you to download the Dirt Draft app, available on Google Play or the App Store. Dirt Draft is the official fantasy home of Dirt Late Model Racing. You can download Dirt Draft, pick your 5 drivers you think will do well tonight with your $100,000 salary cap. Earn points, redeem those points for cool stuff like apparel and tickets throughout the season. And you, if you're a new subscriber tonight, use the promo code HTF to get a free Dirt Draft T-shirts shipped right to you. And just on cue, our first group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps rolling onto the racetrack. Our 34 cars representing 6 states are led out by car number 15, Thompson, Georgia. That is Cody Overton. Cody Overton in the Bruce Kane Racing 15 car. Right behind him out of Statesboro, Georgia, driving the Brian Nuttall on 16 car, it's Joshua Bishop. Joshua Bishop in the 16. Out of Franklin, North Carolina, the Coltman Farms 187 is the bad boy, David McCoy. David McCoy headed down the back straightaway, hoping for a better night tonight. Did not make the show last night. We'll see what David can do. 5th in series point standings. He's got a mathematical shot at getting up into the 4th position here tonight in car 44D out of Salem, Alabama. That is Dalton Cook. Dalton Cook in the 44D. Right behind him, the Win-Len Development 121 out of Dublin, Georgia is Pearson Lee Williams. Pearson Williams in the 121. And then out of Newport, Tennessee, had a good showing last night, did Josh Henry. Josh Henry and the Boo Crew in the 00. over in turn number 3. Car number 14 is your Aces Renovation Rookie of the Year in our inaugural season out of St. Augustine, Florida. The 15-year-old Trey Mills, 4th in series point standings, going to try to fend off a hard charge from Dalton Cook here tonight. Car number 9 out of Woodstock, Georgia, that is Jason Croft. Jason Croft in the 9, the 3-time Dixie Speedway track champion. And out of Fort Payne, Alabama, in car 16, that is Sam Seawright. Sam Seawright led laps early in our race in May before a tough outing, a tough finish for Sam. See what he could do here tonight. Dirt Draft Hot Laps Group A, or Group 1 rather, coming up to speed for the Group A cars. 34 drivers, 6 stakes, Sean. Again, all of these cars were here last night. We've got all 33 back, and then Jimmy Sharp Jr. is the late addition.
I see some fast hot rods out there, Travis. I'm talking about some cars that might not have been quite up to par last night. It looks extremely fast tonight.
Well, it is just so hard to see that sun shining in their face off into turn number 1. These drivers having better work of it, but so far here, it would appear that your fastest driver so far is Cody Overton's 15.702 out of group number 1, Cody Overton.
And definitely a fan favorite here at Swainsboro Raceway. Cody races here a lot throughout the year, you know, when he's not on some of the bigger shows. Always getting ready for that Turkey 100 race that we have Thanksgiving weekend here at Swainsboro Raceway. It's a 3-day weekend, practicing on Thursday, heat races and qualifying on Friday, and then feature events on Saturday. And Cody already has a couple of those Turkey trophies. They hand carved with a chainsaw.
Those are really cool. I've seen them in person. Just one of the unique races, unique trophies that Swainsboro does here, and between turkeys and pine trees, and you guys got it all down here.
I tell you, and Paul started the deal with the turkeys and the pine trees, run across a gentleman out of Alabama that could take a chainsaw and take a block of wood and just carve it into just about anything. And the cool ones was the actual go-kart trophies we had for the pine tree was shaped in the shape of a piston.
Our next group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps rolling onto the racetrack in car F1 out of Commerce, Georgia. That is Peyton Freeman. Peyton Freeman looking to rebound here tonight. He scratched from the event after his heat race last night, did Peyton. So Peyton looking to turn it around and maybe put it in the show in the F1 car. Car number 57, he's a 4-time Ultimate Super Late Model Series champion. He's from Enoree, South Carolina. And is Zach Mitchell. Zach Mitchell in the 57 car. Ran in the top 5 all night long last night. Had a top 3 run going until Overton passed him late. And he came home 4th, did Zach Mitchell. Out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, car number 55. That's the double nickel house car for Benji Hicks. Benji Hicks in the 55. Last night's third place winner out of Evans, Georgia, or third place runner out of Evans, Georgia, in car number 76. That is Brandon Overton. Brandon Overton in the 76 car. Out of Douglasville, Georgia, the 18X is Michael Page. Michael Page got a 525 motor in, hoping it slows down a bit. As last night the racetrack just kind of kept some speed until way late. So Michael hoping it's a little bit more slick tonight so that 525 will have a shot. Car number 88 out of Union, South Carolina. That's the little head knocker. That is Trent Ivey. Car number 10 down the front straightaway. That is your point leader. That is Joseph Joyner out of Milton, Florida. Joseph has the point lead by 8 points. That's 4 positions on the racetrack, excluding a win. We'll talk about that all throughout the evening. And in car number 5, working off of turn number 4, as the white flag flies here on Dirt Draft Hot Laps Group number 2. That is Ross Bales. Ross Bales in the Norm Nichols-owned Barry Wright chassis out of Clover, South Carolina. So Zach Mitchell so far fastest of this group. Brandon Overton giving him a run there as he's second quick out of the second group. Now Joyner goes third quick overall, fastest of the group, as these Group 2 cars continuing to take their Dirt Draft Hot Lap sessions. Checkered flag will fly here shortly, and the cars will begin to exit off the racetrack. Cody Overton fastest overall in Dirt Draft Hot Laps thus far at a 15.702. So Joyner, Mitchell, and Overton, the fastest out of the second group, but they're third, fourth, and fifth fastest overall. Cody Overton and Sam Seawright, top of the boards out of the first group. Again, Dirt Draft Hot Laps, Sean, not necessarily meaning much of anything when you're fast in hot laps, other than you're on the right track and you're not starting behind the 8 ball.
Absolutely, they can use those times and go back and say, well, you know, what we got, 1, 2, 3, 4 little divisions here that we're going to be hot lapping before they actually qualify for what counts. So do you make any changes to your car at this point? If you're fast now, do you make any changes? You leave it alone? as we talked about earlier, as the sun goes down, the track is definitely going to change a little bit. So what would you do if you're actually a crew chief here?
And that is the mind game that plays out over and over, week after week in hot laps. Sometimes it's best to just think you got to improve constantly, right? So, all right, so the Group A cars have exited off. These next cars are the Group B competitors. Again, this is Dirt Draft Hot Laps, but everybody will be chasing a 15.702 from Cody Overton. That's the fastest time thus far. Down the back straightaway out of Milton, Florida, car number 2 is Bo Slay. Bo Slay in the 2. Right behind him in car number 214 out of Rincon, Georgia. That's the Rum Runner Racing entry for Joey Coulter. That is Hayden Cowan. Hayden Cowan in the 214. Last night's winner, he made a last lap pass coming off of turn number 4 on Jimmy Owens. Car number 12 out of Hampton, Georgia. That is the all-time leader in series wins with 3 wins this season for Ashton Winger. Ashton Winger, the winningest driver in the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. Chris Ferguson out of Mount Holly, North Carolina, rolls his 22 car into turn 3. Caleb Gay in the X car from Dublin, Georgia. Caleb had problems in qualifying last night, backed it into the turn 1 wall, and that pretty much ended his night then and there. So Caleb, the Southern All-Star point leader, hoping for a better night here on night number 2. Car number 6 out of Jupiter, Florida. He finished 6th last night. That's Clay Harris. Clay Harris in the 6th car. And in the 174 out of Bakersfield, California, that is Ethan Dotson. Ethan picked up the win with the Tour last Saturday night in the Red Farmer Tribute down at the Talladega Short Track. And in car number 93 out of Lincolnton, North Carolina, that is Carson Ferguson. Carson Ferguson in the 93 car won with the series here, $10,000 back in May. Did not have quite the night he expected last night, as Dirt Draft Hot Lap Group number 3 is taking the white flags. Sean, the Swainsboro Raceway, while not near as it's deceiving is the best way to put it, because it looks narrow, it looks small, and then you put 11 cars on the racetrack, everybody's spread out, and we saw last night it took a while to get to lap traffic, and they were racing 2 and 3 wide. It's just not what you think when you see it.
Yeah, when you take a look at this place, you say, well, it's just a little bull ring. It's going to be follow the leader. But last night we saw your guys put on one heck of a show. 3-4 wide racing all over the speedway, especially as the night went on. We got that groove established. We talked about it earlier during the heat racing and the hot laps. The groove going into turn 1 and 2. It's starting to do a little bit like that now. If you can see the lower groove starting to form, and now the top groove starting to form, and that preferred line quickly became the top groove. You're
looking at the driver that was fastest from that group, last night's winner, Ashton Winger, second fastest overall to 15.737. So that first group early lap there for Cody Overton that is set top of the charts is looking pretty good. Cody's got some fast guys that have kind of fallen in behind him, so that's a good sign for Cody. Next group, which should be, I believe, the final group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series, is rolling out, and they're being led out by car number 26. That is Jimmy Sharp Jr., Vidalia, Georgia driver, was not here last night. He is the the new arrival to the entry list here this evening, Jimmy Sharp Jr. Donald McIntosh out of Dawsonville, Georgia, driving the Mount Airy, North Carolina-based Billy Hicks on 79 car. And young Jackson Heiss. Jackson Heiss in the 388 out of Ocala, Florida, 16 years old. Last night was his first career super late model start. Jackson looking for a potential Rookie of the Year run with the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series in 2024. Car number 212 out of Florence, Alabama. That is Josh Putnam. Josh Putnam comes in second in series point standings, 8 points out of the lead here tonight. Josh is the hunted last night. He's the hunter here tonight. Alan Stick out of Americus, Georgia, rolls the 11 car into turn number 3. Gavin Cowan in the 19 out of Rincon, Georgia, in the supply chain management entry. And in car number 20 out of Newport, Tennessee, the Newport Nightmare. It's the 4-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, 2-time World 100 winner. That's Jimmy Owens. And in car number 19 out of Hawkinsville, Georgia, again, mathematically still with a shot. Needs a good run and some bad luck for other competitors. That's Will Harrington. Will Harrington in the 19 car. That is the 4th and final group of Dirt Draft Hot Laps for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. These drivers will make their rounds. You know, Sean, we saw last night the racetrack in hot laps. It was really kind of all over the place. One group, everybody was on the bottom. Next group, everybody was up top. Then they were in the middle. We're kind of seeing the same thing here tonight.
I was thinking the same thing. It's almost a mirror of last night. You saw some cars that was on the bottom, some cars on the top. They're kind of going everywhere. I mean, you really can't tell which line they want to run. One minute you'll see Putnam down low, and the next minute you'll see him up top. Same with Will Harrington. I guess now they're just shaking it down, seeing what is their preferred line, getting ready.
Fastest car in this group appears to be Jimmy Owens, ninth fastest overall, I believe. Yep, Jimmy Owens, ninth fastest as the Dirt Draft Hot Laps group number 4. Checkered flag flies, and they'll conclude and head to the infield. Drivers that need to go across the scales will go across the scales, and everybody else will start to exit. So that appears to be all 34 cars that have signed in, representing 6 states of competition. Tonight's Southern Showcase paying $23,000 to win. Super late models in front of what looks to be a packed house that is forming here at Swainsboro. Got a good crowd on hand. They are still steady coming in the gates, and they still got time to get here. The next time you see the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series presented by Sweet Victory Apparel Company on the racetrack, it will be from My Race Pastime Trials. My Race Pastime Trials to set the lineups for our 4 heat races that'll be contested here later on. Sean, you've got a good look at them. We were here last night. We saw what they looked like last night, and we've seen what they look like in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Cody Overton, Ashton Winger, Sam Seawright, Joseph Joyner, Chris Ferguson. No surprise that those heavy hitters are at the top of the charts.
Absolutely not. I tell you, I figured Cody would go back to the drawing board last night and start doing some changes to his machine, and definitely he's tough. He's going to be tough here this weekend. On tonight especially, because I think he learned some stuff last night. His crew was working on the car when we went by earlier today. And, of course, Chris Ferguson, he's been here before at our Thanksgiving race, and he's got some information in the backside of his playbook, I guess you could say. So I guarantee you we're going to have some cars that we didn't see last night up front. We're going to see them up front tonight.
Yes, sir. And now time for everybody's favorite, the Crown Vics coming out on the racetrack.
Yes, the Smiths Roll-Off Crown Vic Junior Division. Now, I tell you, this is a class that's been taken off across the southeastern part of the United States, and we have 2 different classes here, as most tracks do. This is our junior division, which is mostly the younger drivers, more inexperienced drivers. Out on the speedway, you got the 09 car who's starting on the pole for tonight. That's Lake Woods out of Swainsboro, Georgia, in the 09 machine. Blake Phillips out of Adrian in the 4P. The 471, Josh Parrish out of Rankin, Georgia. Randall Durden out of Swainsboro in the 28R car. They'll get their 3 or 4 quick hot laps around the speedway. I tell you, a great division, economical division. If you're looking at getting into racing or would like to try your hand, most of them are old retired law enforcement vehicles. As you see that 471 car, Josh Parrish out of Rankin, Georgia, it's still got the light bar on the top of his. So the 28R, Randon Durden, the quickest of the Crown Vic juniors, out on the speedway right now. Josh Parrish in that 471 car, he's second quick. Blake Phillips out of Adrian, Georgia, third quick. Cam Hasty out of East Dublin, Georgia, fourth. I tell you, that's going to be a great feature event right there. And there's some things in the works for our turkey race, our Thanksgiving race that we have here Thanksgiving weekend. A lot of things up in the air. We're playing the playbooks by JJ and Paul and Dana and all the staff here at Swainsboro Raceway. They're trying to put together one more fine show, as this will be JJ and Dana's first year as owning Swainsboro Raceway and hosting the Turkey 100. Now, race fans, don't forget October the 21st here at the Speedway, the Moonshine 100 makeup race. That'll be also the night that we do our Southeastern Racers reunion. Come out and hear drivers from yesteryear talk about all the things that took place here at the Speedway. And not just at Swainsboro Raceway, but wherever they raced at across the southeastern part of the United States. Out attempting now with their hot lap session is the Rustic Grill Street Stock Division. Had 14 entries last night here at the Speedway, so they'll bust them into groups of 7 here tonight. Number 40, Alex Sturkey, and a brand new racing machine out of Waynesburg, Georgia. He's going to start 5th tonight in the feature event. 16 car Jerry Jones, he is your pole setter, rolling down the back straightaway now. Alex Sturkey riding second behind him. Just behind the Sturkey machine is Donnie Bazemore out of Brooklet, Georgia. Sturkey with a brand new machine, said he had some stuff he was trying to shake down on the car. Robert Fell out of Metter, Georgia's there in the number 49 car. He was working extremely hard on his machine as well as all of his pit crew last night trying to get it tuned in. Donnie Bazemore Jr., quick time so far. Now Jared Jones, he'll kind of knock him off the leaderboard there in that 16. The 16 car, Jared Jones, always a fast competitor here at Swainsboro. He has a fast racing machine. Donnie Bazemore Jr. in the second quick time now. Robert Fell doing some work on his machine. He's currently 3rd. Alex Sturkey, Donnie Nelms, Chris Shaw, and Gary Dorsey will round out the top 7 as we complete our first group of Rustic Grill Street Stock Division cars. They make their hot laps around the speedway. 2 groups of these machines. There's 7 in each group. You'll see them the next time around. They'll be battling for that feature event win in the Rustic Grill Street Stocks. Proud to have Rustic Grill on board as a title sponsor. They're located just down the road there on U.S. Highway 80. Great place with a great atmosphere to stop and eat lunch or eat supper. Carry your wife out. It's a great, great opportunity to go visit. Tell the people there at Rustic Grill that you heard about them here at Swainsboro Raceway. Quick rundown on who we got in this particular group. Got the number 17 car out on the speedway right now. That's Joseph Dykemper out of Bloomingdale, Georgia. That number 17 car. Young competitor making his way up from just down the road a couple hours away. Just behind him, you have the 04 car. Tyler Davis out of Portal, Georgia. Former track champion here at the speedway. Davis participated in the Portal Parade down there today with his race car and his father's car there. Saw that information on Facebook. Just behind him, the number 70. Brent Herndon out of Scott, Georgia in the Carter Motorsports ride. Herndon, a 3-time track champion here at Swainsboro Raceway. Just behind him, the number 11. Brandon Yon out of Eden, Georgia. Another one of those former Oglethorpe Speedway track champions out on the speedway now. Jan, a fast car last night. He's currently 3rd now as we complete our second group of hot laps for the Rustic Grill Street Stock machines. The young Joseph Dykemper having a great run too. He's in the top 5. Jared Jones still your quickest during practice here in the Rustic Grill Street Stock division. Have someone that has lost a Cash App card. If you can describe it, you need to see the young ladies down in the Swainsboro Raceway souvenir trailer. Swainsboro souvenir booth. Go check them out. Got a Cash App card that someone has located. Now taken to the speedway now. The Georgia Equipment Company 604 late models. Out on the speedway right now, the number 12 chauffeur tonight by Dustin Watkins out of Swainsboro, Georgia. And ladies and gentlemen, he's celebrating a birthday with us this weekend. So happy birthday, Dustin. Just behind Dustin in that Rick's Glass Company, or Ken Rick's Glass sponsor machinery, is the 00 of Robbie Cowart. There's the green flag from Wesley Hartley. Cowart out of Savannah, Georgia, former track champion there at Oglethorpe Speedway Park. Just behind him, the number 31 machine, Michael Akerson out of Augusta, Georgia. He'll carry that black machine down into turn number 1 and 2. Akerson Racing. Just behind Michael Akerson. is the 01 machine. Trey Tarleton out of Blackstock, South Carolina. Trent Ivy in the G4 car, rounding through turns number 3 and 4, doing double duty this weekend. Out of Union, South Carolina, on that G4 machine. Trent is the fastest so far in group number 1 of the Georgia Equipment 604 late models. Derek Dent out of Appling, Georgia, in the number 18 car. He's second quick. Caleb Gay in that number 12. I stand to be corrected. Caleb Gay driving the 12 car, the Griggs Glass Company car, chauffeuring it this weekend, doing double duty. That car looks really fast. The Ricks Racing Stables out of Adrian, Georgia, chauffeured by Caleb Gay tonight. Trey Tarleton, 4th. Robbie Cowett rounding out the top 5. Top 5 quickest in practice for the Georgia Equipment 604 late models. Proud to have the Georgia Equipment Company. Mr. Lane and all the smiling faces with Georgia Equipment Company. They got all kind of equipment. 3 locations to serve you: Swainsboro, Dublin, and Statesboro. Your Husqvarna, Skag Mowers Echo dealer. So that'll be group number 1 of the Georgia Equipment 604 late model division. Race fans, if you're just getting to the Speedway, we're doing our hot lap session, our quick little practice session here before we do our opening ceremonies. Get ready for the second group of Georgia Equipment 604 late models. Take a look out on the back straightaway. Number 9, Chess Chester out of Twin City, Georgia. Former track champion here at the Speedway. Has several feature event wins under his belt. The green flag wastes no time. It's up and waving already. 27D car, Blake Daniels out of Twin City. He's also on the Speedway. The number 11, Stacy Roberts. Former contender with the National Late Model Series. Out of Sylvester, Georgia. In the number 11. In the number 10 machine that you see out on the Speedway, Norman Park, Georgia's Ty Giles. Proud to have Ty Giles battling with us this weekend on the Bull Ring of the South, Swainsboro Raceway. Stacy Robertson, that Park-built trailer-sponsored ride, rolling down the back straightaway. He's currently 7th quick during practice. So look at there. 11 car, second quick now during practice, turns of 16.41 for Sylvester, Georgia's Stacy Roberts in the Park-built sponsored machinery. So that will complete our Georgia Equipment 604 late model hot laps. Trent Ivy out of Union, South Carolina. He was the fastest during practice out of both groups. Race fans, now be a great time to go check them out inside the concession stand. Cold Coca-Cola, soft drinks, hamburgers, hot dogs, fresh hot Domino's pizza. Proud to have Domino's Pizza on board as the fastest pizza in the South. Also like to thank the fine folks with Easy Go and Central Fence Company, all on board as sponsors here at Swainsboro Raceway, helping us bring forth the Hunt the Front Series, Southern Showcase, as well as our good friends out of Evans, Georgia, Garntow Services. Proud to have Mr. Garntow and the smiling faces with Garntow Services on board. Getting ready for our Crown Vic Pro Division. A whopping 17 entries in the Lynn and Bob's Crown Vic Pro. Lynn and Bob's proud to be on board as the title sponsor. We talked with Travis earlier tonight, and some of the drivers who actually went down and had lunch at Lynn and Bob's. They was talking about how good the eating was there, the desserts and the atmosphere, and how everybody treated them at Lynn and Bob's. So the 50-50 car, Tim Wilkerson, out on the speedway, as well as the number 1 machine. Car number 17, that's Griffin Jones. He'll turn it around over in turn number 2. Jones raining out of Ryan, Georgia. And that'll bring out the caution flag here. He was the quickest so far in the Lynn & Bob's Crown Vic hot lap session. Tim Wilkerson, second quick. And number 3 of Jackson Monroe. Third quick, Ronnie Hilliard, fourth. And then, that's going to be Rodney Sellers rounding out the top 5 so far. As we're back under the green flag conditions here in our practice session for the Lynn & Bob's Crown Vics. Ronnie Hilliard in that camouflage machine taking a look underneath a couple of the cars down the front straightaway. His car seems to be extremely fast here this weekend. Griffin Jones out of Ryan, Georgia, making one of his first appearances here at Swainsboro Raceway. Seems to have the clock or the track dialed in as he's fastest on the clock so far during practice sessions for the Lynn & Bob's Crown Vic. We got one more practice session for the Lynn & Bob's Crown Vic Pros. And we'll move into the Hunt the Front Super Late Model qualifying. Understand the nerves and the anxiety and everything starting to ramp up a little bit as we come closer and closer to go time, if you would. Qualifying up right after this second group of Lynn & Bob's Crown Vic Pro Division. Number 65 car, Jared Peoples out. One of the first cars out onto the speedway here. Getting ready to go. 14 car, Turner Davis out of Guyton, Georgia. Just behind him, another number 14. That's Josh Brantley out of Harlem, Georgia. Just behind the Harlem, Georgia drivers, the 16 car, Little J. Williams out of Swainsboro. And we have the 471 car back out on the speedway. TJ Purvis in the 38 car. He'll be your pole setter for tonight's feature event. Remember, we had the heated battle last night between him and the 50-50 car, Tim Wilkerson, in the heat race. Man, it was tight. And on the final lap, TJ was able to hold him off and score the win, so he'll lead him to the pole. Number 17 car, Griffin Jones, will be on the outside of that front row. Tim Wilkerson and Ronnie Hilliard will represent the second row. Number 4, Wesley Watkins and Jared Peebles will round out row number 3. Jared Peebles seems to be the fastest car so far as we start to wind down the laps here in the second group of Lynn & Bob's Crown Vic Pros. A little over 0.3 of a second faster than the rest of the machines. And, of course, you can watch his car where he's actually beating them at. His car's handling so well, he don't move much at all. Some of the cars you'll see are pushing. If they're not pushing, they're real bad loose coming off the fourth turn. And Jared's able just to get on that rail and just kind of cruise around the speedway, if you would. And as we get ready for the Hunt the Front Super Late Model qualifying, Travis, I tell you, I can feel it up here in the booth. I don't know if you can feel it, but I can almost feel it up here. The excitement, the anxiety, everybody getting ready. They know it's go time. Now's the time they got to give it all they got. Those front 3 competitors that's trying to win the points championship. And then you take the points championship out of the way, everybody wants bragging rights of winning this race here, the Southern Showcase.
Yeah, it's championship night. It's championship weekend, and Those three drivers, they know what they've got to do. They've been thinking it, they've been analyzing it, they've been overthinking it, they've been confusing themselves, they've been, all right, just throw it all out the window, everything that we thought, and they've thought it again, right? So those three guys are definitely a race within the race here tonight, but you throw $23,000 to win the Southern Showcase here. Definitely going to be a great and entertaining night tonight. If we have anywhere near the racetrack we had last night, it'll be phenomenal.
I tell you, I'm excited about it, and we talked about it earlier in the day. This has kind of been like the night before Christmas to me. I talked about it last night. The staff has been so excited about this event, and I want to give a shout-out to you guys. You know, you said it earlier, it's the inaugural season for the Hunt the Front Series, and I want to compliment you and your staff. Y'all have been the greatest to work with. We are so excited to have y'all here. Sometimes when series visits racetracks or what have you, sometimes the chemistry is not there. Sometimes there's some issues, but we have all worked through, and it's just been a great relationship this year, and we look forward to next year with you guys and hope to get you on the schedule as much as we can, because I tell you, if the track holds up like it did last night, I think will really shatter our car count when the word gets out of how racy Swainsboro Raceway was.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to throw anything out there unofficially or officially yet, but we'll definitely be back.